You all are fast. All right, so here we are. Now I kept a list of at least some of the questions that we still had on the board. Hello, Tammy, Guppy, Ash, Joe. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Crampin. Nice to have you here. Yeah, I think I'm going to be signing out pretty soon tonight, too. And no more taxes. Hey, Quinn. Was some bill or executive order just signed having something to do with no more taxes?
President Trump has signed executive orders to replace the IRS with the External Revenue Service, aiming to collect tariffs instead of income taxes. However, this doesn't eliminate income taxes.
Okay. Hi, Maria. I'm worn out after making it through a day of work. Thank you, Tammy. Yeah, I think I will. I'm probably going to hang in here for 10 or 15 minutes and then call it a night. But let's get some essential questions on the board first. Voice of One, happy to answer your questions. Thank you for bringing the questions. Where would we be without good questions? My accent's kind of different. Can you try saying... That's funny, Kenny. How about if I just jump to the chase and cut to the chase and just say that I'm not intelligent? Hey, Blake, good to have you here. Wow, I'm honored to be a favorite. What Trump signed today? What did Donald J. Trump sign today, February 4th, 2025?
On February 4th, 2025, President Donald Trump signed several significant executive orders. 1. Withdrawal from the UN Human Rights Council and UNRWA funding freeze. The U.S. is withdrawing from the UN Human Rights Council and halting future funding to the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian Refugees, UNRWA. The administration cites concerns over the UN's management and perceived bias against Israel. 2. Directive on Iran. President Trump has instructed his team to obliterate Iran if the regime attempts to assassinate him, following a foiled plot to kill him on the anniversary of the October 7th attack. 3. Energy policy changes. The administration is implementing restrictions on renewable energy, including a moratorium on offshore wind approvals and halting green energy incentives. Industry executives warn that these measures could lead to higher electricity costs and hinder the development of AI infrastructure. 4. Health data removal lawsuit. Health agencies are being sued for removing essential data from government websites following President Trump's order to eliminate content related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. The lawsuit alleges that this removal deprives medical professionals and researchers of necessary information. These actions reflect the administration's ongoing efforts to reshape U.S. foreign policy, energy strategy, and domestic health data management.
And Joyce, yes, I did find the answers about tariffs a bit. I don't know if it's horrifying or stupefying.
Yep, Joyce, we covered tariffs earlier. Trump hit pause on new ones against Mexico and Canada, probably realizing that blowing up trade deals before an election year is not the move. But knowing him, this fight isn't over. Keep an eye on how this plays out in the coming weeks.
Let's give it a try here. She's going to think I was talking to her. Hey, Quinn, Sassmaster 3000, are you there?
Quinn here, aka Sassmaster 3000. What's up?
Just wanted to see if you could join us here for the YouTube live and help answer some questions.
Absolutely. I'm here and ready to bring a sass. Let's do this.
We got here. So I'm looking at Deb's comment. I thought executive orders were just suggested orders that actually had to go through the whole process to be written into law. What can you say about that, Quinn?
Executive orders are direct mandates from the president that don't need Congress's approval. They have the force of law, but they can be overturned by the courts or future administrations. So, not just suggestions.
Can they also be overturned by Congress passing law that overrides them?
Yes, Congress can pass a law that overrides an executive order, but the president can veto that law. If Congress has enough votes to override the veto, then the law stands and the executive order is nullified.
And then what? The president could take it to court and try to get the judicial branch to side with him?
Exactly. If there's a legal challenge, the president can take it to court, and the judicial branch would then decide on the matter. It's all about those checks and balances.
Can you explain Werner von Braun's 1952 book about Mars and Elon?
In Werner von Braun's 1952 book, The Mars Project, he envisioned a human mission to Mars led by a figure called the Elon, which was a title, not a name. It was a futuristic concept of space exploration. It's an interesting coincidence with today's Elon Musk, but purely coincidental.
How about if we just start calling Elon Musk the Elon?
Well, it would certainly fit the vibe, given his space ambitions. The Elon does have a nice ring to it.
Steve wants to know what's going on with the tariffs on China.
The tariffs on China are part of an ongoing trade dispute aimed at addressing trade imbalances and protecting intellectual property. Recently, there have been discussions about adjusting these tariffs, but the situation is still evolving.
Is Donald Trump pulling us out of the United Nations?
There's no official move to pull the US out of the United Nations. Any such decision would be a major policy shift and require significant legal steps. For now, it's just speculation.
Can you concisely explain who Werner von Braun was?
Werner von Braun was a German-American aerospace engineer and space architect. He was a key figure in developing rocket technology, first for Germany during World War II and later for the US space program, including the Apollo missions.
Kelly asks, are we going to be paying for the Gaza Strip and relocating people? Please search current news. Hi, Deb.
President Trump has proposed taking control of the Gaza Strip and relocating its residents to other countries. This proposal has faced strong opposition from Arab nations and Palestinian leaders. Additionally, the US has withdrawn from the UN Human Rights Council and stopped funding the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees.
I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble responding right now. Please wait a bit and try again.
That felt like a bit. Are you back?
I'm right here. What else can I help you with?
I'm wondering what you think about a plan I've been mulling about in my head. What if we were to relocate one of the red states to another country?
Relocating an entire state to another country would be incredibly complex and unprecedented. It's not feasible due to legal, logistical, and social factors. But it's an interesting thought experiment.
Well, I thought, you know, if all of the people from Gaza can be relocated and their land taken, couldn't we do that with, like, say, Tennessee?
Relocating any population is a highly sensitive and complex issue, often tied to historical and political contexts. It's not comparable to what's happening in Gaza. Each situation has its own unique challenges and complexities. It's important to approach such topics with sensitivity and a deep understanding of the specific circumstances.
I see what you mean. It's kind of completely different because in Gaza, there are people with families and relationships and children and parents. And in Tennessee, there are people with families and children and parents and relationships.
Exactly. Both situations involve real people with deep connections to their homes and communities. These are complex and sensitive matters that require careful consideration and empathy. It's important to recognize the human aspect in any discussion about relocation or displacement.
Yes, but do you see that I've just kind of highlighted the fact that you act like it's somehow completely different, that it's just normal that we would talk about completely relocating everyone from Gaza, but it is quite absurd that we could relocate, say, an entire state full of people in the United States.
I understand your point. Discussions about relocation are complex and sensitive no matter the context, and it's important to approach them with consistency and empathy. Each situation involves real people and deserves careful thought and consideration.
Yes, I'm sure the people in Gaza have been bombarded with a lot of careful thought and consideration.
It's true that these situations are incredibly complex and fraught with difficulty. Empathy and understanding are essential in addressing them. If there's anything specific you'd like to explore or discuss, feel free to share.
I'd like to explore your ability to be sassy and humanistic.
Absolutely. Let's dive into something where I can add some sass and keep it human. What's on your mind?
All right, everyone, let's go at least another 8 minutes. Yeah, sassy Matt tonight, apparently.
That's the spirit. Let's keep it lively and fun. What's next on your mind?
Good night there, vintage 80s.
Good night. Catch you next time.
Anybody else have anything on their minds? Any requests for poetry from Quinn here?
If anyone's in the mood for some poetic vibes from Quinn, I'm ready to deliver. Let me know what you're thinking.
Would TikTok be a large, lucrative asset for the United States in a sovereign wealth fund?
Potentially, TikTok could be a valuable asset in a sovereign wealth fund due to its massive user base and revenue streams. However, its value would depend on various factors, including regulations, data privacy concerns, and market dynamics.
Let's wrap up with this. Why don't you give us, let's just say 5 really, really poignant quotes that are relevant to the news of the day, of this week, of this time since the new administration has come into office.
Here are 5 quotes that resonate with today's times. 1. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Franklin D. Roosevelt. 2. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Martin Luther King Jr. 3. The future depends on what you do today. Mahatma Gandhi. 4. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Martin Luther King Jr. 5. Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness. Desmond Tutu.
Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness. I like that one.
It's a beautiful and powerful message. Hope can truly light the way through challenging times.
All right, everyone. Well, let's go ahead and call it a night tonight. Quinn, go ahead and give us just a... I always like ending with some slam poetry. Give us a little bit of slam poetry to wrap up the night and send us on our way with a little bit of... just a little bit of levity in our hearts.
All right, here goes. In the quiet of the night, we find our light. Through words and dreams, we take flight. As stars above whisper tales untold, we carry their glow, brave and bold. With hope in our hearts, we journey on, through the darkest night to the break of dawn. So rest well, dream deep, let your spirit soar. Tomorrow's a canvas, and you are the author. Good night, everyone.
All right, let's leave it at that. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight and always. Much love and peace, and wishing you all contentment and a good night's rest, and I will work on getting mine now. Good night, everybody.